Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, Sarah here with another great business to discuss on this episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. Today's guest is Mohammed, and he's selling his app business on the Empire Flippers marketplace. Welcome to the show, Mohammed. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. Thank you, Sarah, for having me with you. I'm very excited to talk with you.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you here. Thanks for coming on. Definitely looking forward to talking a bit more about your business. Before we dive in, let's go over a brief summary of the business. So this is an application package of 17 Apple apps in the gaming niche created in December 2016. The average monthly revenue of this business is $5,301, and it has an average of $5,130 per month in net profit, and that is based on an 8-month pricing period. Included in the sale of the business are 3 application accounts, should the buyer choose to have these, 17 apps, so that's 1 paid app with in-app sales and 16 free apps with ads. For everyone listening, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 47489 to learn more about the business or unlock the listing to start your due diligence if you're interested in purchasing. Now that I've given a general overview of the business, let's dig into this interview. So, Mohammed, can you tell me a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Yeah, thanks. Basically, after graduating from university, I started my own setup and we started creating apps. First, we were creating Android apps, and then later on, we started creating iOS apps as well. And along with apps, we also started creating mobile games for iPhone users. And so we have created many games, and the games we are selling in this package are doing pretty good.
Okay, great. Well, I don't get to talk to many sellers of app businesses often. I'm curious, why did you choose to get into apps? And, why do you think app creation is just a great business model for those interested in online business?
Okay, basically, the users are now shifting from PC to mobile. People are now spending more time on mobiles than like on PC or websites. You can see stats of every year there is a continuous growth in times and in terms of users who are spending more and more time on mobile. So that's why we target mobile audience. And plus there was a room in mobile games and mobile apps. Like there is so much saturation in websites, but for mobile there is still many opportunities for newcomers to tap into. So basically that was the reason that customers are spending more and more time on mobile. So we should target mobile.
Yeah, that's a great answer. So why are you selling this business instead of, say, keeping it and growing it?
Okay. Basically, right now, we are working with a partner on a cryptocurrency exchange, and that's a long-term project, and that requires my focus more and more. So that's why I want to sell my apps, and so I can focus on my exchange project.
Yeah, that makes sense. Would you say there's anything you learned from this business that you'd apply to future sites or businesses? What did you learn from building this that just seemed to really work for you?
As I said, there's still many opportunities in mobile platform, especially in games. Like, for example, we have never spent $1 for marketing or promotion of our apps, as big companies or big players, spend a lot of money into marketing and promoting their apps. We have acquired our users totally through organic traffic. But we have learned is that if we spend some money along with organic traffic, we can tap more and more users, and we can using organic traffic. One of our paid app is in top paid charts of many countries like US, Canada, and other countries. So if we include paid marketing, this can be a big hit, and the rest of all other apps can also acquire more and more users if we do paid marketing. So far, we learned is that if we do organic traffic plus paid marketing, There can be a lot of potential to get your app a big hit and more users and more revenue.
Oh, that's a great answer. It's funny, you've answered some of my further questions down the line, so I'll try not to make you repeat too much. So that's a really good picture of what is working with this business and where it stands today. Would you say that there's anything you tried in growing this business that maybe didn't work?
In this is to tap, and we tried many apps which did not get as many downloads as we were expecting. So yeah, like some apps we put a lot of efforts in developing those apps, but those apps did not produce as good results as some other apps. So and they can be more beneficial for new buyer if they spend some money into marketing, and later on they can add more features and can give more updates to increase its revenue.
Okay. Mohammed, what advice would you give to our listeners that you wish you'd known when you'd started?
I would say that when you start building apps and games, I think you should start with small apps and small games. We should not start creating big apps for beginners. Like if someone start developing an app which is too huge or which is too big, and at the end of day his app don't do good on app store, then he will be broke, that his business is not good enough. So I would say that for beginners, that start with small, and with continuous iterations and updates you can grow it big and bigger.
Okay, that's a great answer. So, earlier you painted a good picture of where the business is. You spoke a little bit about opportunities. I just want to make sure that we're not missing out on any other opportunities here. Beyond what you had gotten into a little bit before, would you say there's any other major opportunities for growth that a buyer should be aware of or a buyer might be interested in?
Okay, if a buyer use Apple search ads for marketing for promotion of these apps, he can surely get more downloads and more revenues. Plus, he can use these apps downloads and installs to get his new apps promoted. And he already has a huge user base. So using this user base, he can build his new apps. Plus, using paid marketing, he can grow the existing user base. So one app is already in top charts. Using paid app marketing, he can get more apps in top paid charts, and they get more revenue.
Perfect. Great answer. Would you say that there are any risks with this business that a buyer should be aware of?
As such, there is no risk with the Apple App Store and these apps, as but still with the passage of time, maybe some of app or some of the any game slow with the downloads with the passage of time. But if he give updates once or twice in a year and do fresh ASO of these apps once or twice in a year, there is no risk in this business.
Okay, great. Can you describe the amount and type of work you do on this business for maintenance?
Right now, it's very less. I have not given my time on these apps for the last 3 months. So normally, if you give 1 or 2 hours in a week, that would be good. But for a year, you have to prepare 1 or 2 updates in a year, so you can continue getting more and more downloads.
All right. Would you say there's any skills or requirements for someone not familiar with this niche or business model?
I think as such there are because I already have a developer team in place and art designer as well, which I can provide to new buyer, and he can get the work done for maintenance or for new updates from my technical team. So basically, I think if he's just an iPhone user, he can understand the business, and he use games. He download games from App Store, or he use apps or games in his iPhone, so he can definitely understand the business as well. For technical development, I can provide my technical support team, which he would be needing in once or twice in a year.
Okay. How much support are you offering buyers?
I can provide support for 3 months. Even after 3 months, I will be available through email, through my Skype, whenever buyer wants or whenever buyer needs it.
Would you commit to a non-compete?
Yeah, sure. That I think that's the first thing to do. That obviously I will not compete with these apps or with this business.
Are you open to something like an earnout?
Yes, I am open to it. It's fair enough. I am open to it.
Great. A few personal questions here. Is there anyone who inspired you while building this business that our listeners might like as well?
I think there are many factors like when we graduated in 2011 from university. So that was the time when mobile stores like Android Store and Apple App Store were picking up, and there were many success stories for mobile apps. So those were the success stories which inspired us to build a setup around apps, and later we shifted towards mobile games.
Okay. Kind of a final question here. Putting yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why do you think this is a business worth buying?
Okay, that's an interesting question. I think, as I mentioned earlier, that this business has huge downloads, and these downloads come from total organic traffic, not a single penny spent on its marketing. So I would take it from here, and I would see what I can add more into these apps. And if I spend some budget in marketing of these apps, I can surely get its revenue doubled or tripled, and maybe even my apps can show huge on top charts of Apple App Store. Plus, I can use the user base of these apps to build and to promote new apps. So basically, like I can build my publishing company, which already has a huge user base. So it will be very beneficial for me.
Okay. Well, great. Mohammed, I've run through most of my questions here. Did you have anything else that you wanted to add?
I think that's all. Maybe I have already told my side of story. One thing that if a person want to build a business like a side business for which he don't have to work too much hours, this business can be a very good buy for him, and it surely it will be a profitable business for him. But if he like puts more effort and he take it for long term and build it as a great publishing company, like he can see a huge business growth. This, as you can see today in App Store, there are many companies who are getting like millions of downloads per day and millions of dollars per day. So they all get this huge success because of some, they spend a lot marketing. So for a person or for a buyer who can spend money, he can get a very, very huge success from this existing user base of these apps. Plus, if he don't spend money on his marketing, still it will continue growing and in its revenue and in its downloads, because these apps are stable on high traffic keywords. So he will continue get more downloads even without spending any budget on marketing.
All right. Yeah, it's a good answer. Well, I appreciate you coming on and sharing a little bit more about your business. Definitely looking forward to seeing how everything plays out for you. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. All right, well, for everyone listening out there, thanks for tuning in. To check out more details on this business or to unlock the listing, visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 47489. If you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. By unlocking the listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about the business and can start your due diligence. Until next time.